Hello, Hillary Raven Porter here of Sacred Star Seed Healing. This is Eclipse check-in. I'm looking outside, my window's right here, and it is beautifully raining. Kind of want to be out there just like, right? That sensation. This has been an interesting eclipse, so I just wanted to have a little chat about it. It's been intense. If you've been following along, you will know that I'm currently going through a mass dive into death and rebirth, energetic, spiritual, all of the things, right? And yeah, this past weekend was no different. And so I wanted to just talk a little bit about what happened, what occurred, and some of the lessons that can be that are applicable as we're going through this journey of shifting. So this is a phase of much work that has happened this last weekend. Much work. So let's talk a little bit about what the weekend was all about. So there was the eclipse, right? The eclipse in Taurus, and I say there was, but we're still under that influence of this eclipse. My understanding is it's like 6 months. For 6 months that we really feel each eclipse. I feel them the most intensely a couple weeks before and a couple weeks after, and then we still have the effects of what the lessons are. Those are very intense for me. So this was the eclipse in Taurus, and then we have another one on the 14th of May coming up, and that one is Scorpio. So the major messaging about this eclipse this weekend that came through all of the events and happenings that we had going on, by we, I mean Derek and I, my partner, is that this is a shake-up. This is shaking it up. This is getting it ready, getting you ready, shaking up all the things inside. Shaking it up in preparation for the Scorpio Pluto, like that's gonna happen on the 14th. Yeah. So what happened this weekend? So I had a lovely being reach out about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. They're coming into town. This being I've worked with before, and they're like, "Hey, can you do this thing?" So Derek and I do dual Reiki sessions. So it's 2 practitioners on one being. So Derek and I are working on a being, on a person, and we absolutely love doing them. They are just like amplification central, because Derek tunes into certain fields and then I tune into others, and then we have some overlap. So Derek tends to go in and find these places and find these spots, and the like I can't think of the word, but he goes in and locates and then I go in and I'm not gonna say heal because we're both doing the healing, but I go in and add the things and help with the transition forward. And what's interesting is during the sessions we're not really being like, "Oh, I'm working on this now," and then like Derek would be like, "Oh yeah, and I'm working on this." Like we flow and we work together, and then afterwards we have a decoding with the person as well as, and so we'll bring things up in the parallels, right? There's a lot of child work and stuff like that. So it's always interesting. So this person had reached out and said, "Hey, can you do a duo?" So a dual Reiki, so me and Derek working on 2 people at once. And so I said, let me check and see if we can host it in the room that we have, if both of our tables will fit at once. And it did. So we went forward, right? So that's how we started. Actually, Friday was the start, with some very deep one-on-one sessions. Got to go peeling off lots of Pluto this weekend, which is interesting because like I said, on the 14th, it's Pluto, Scorpio, and it's, yeah, so there was a lot of Pluto this weekend. That's like going in deep birth, death, peeling those bandages off, really getting to the core. So there was a ton of that, because that's the thing. As a healer, there has to be another word. As somebody supporting the journey, the guide, because so if you know another word, let me know, because I don't feel I go in and I heal you. I work together with you to locate, to shift, and move your vibration, give you tools, help you with rituals, help you with lifestyle, help you with all these things, so that you can create these shifts and help these shifts continue on your own, right? So I'm more of a guide and support, right? Not going in and being like, so bam, you're healed. It's not like that. But I hold your hand as you're moving through these. And as the sessions are happening, the person offering the session, so me, Derek, whoever you're working with, is also getting the medicine and the wisdoms. I was going to say the wisdoms. So as we're using tuning forks, as I'm tuning into vibrational fields, as Tamiana's coming through, and creating shifts on your planes of existence, that's also happening for the healer, right? So we're going through the journey as well. I mean, so Friday, entry, Saturday, duo, and then Derek did a wonderful Merkaba workshop talking about how the Merkaba plays a role in our lives, right? And what it can do, and how it can amplify your journey, and how you can access it, and then what happens when you die, and what happens with your Merkaba, and like, yeah. I highly recommend. He has some more workshops coming up. And then Saturday night we hosted sound healing with Lee Riddell from the Kootenays. She came down and we had all these sound healing instruments come in, and then paired with the sacred good activations through myself, and then Light Code, the Seven Sisters, the Council of the Sisters were en masse. It was a lot, right? And so and then that, and Abhitushka, all the people, all the beings that showed up, because her sessions are a bit different. It's not like you go and she just plays and you're just like laying there and it's like just everybody's being bathed, but it's not just like that. She's also going in and saying, what does this person need? And so specifying different aspects of it for the person. So between that, the activations through the light code, Apitutashaka, and the Apopusitu Ataba Una, the sacred grid activations. And then I was also going around intuitively assisting people as they're going through different parts of their journey through the night. And then the eclipse, right? So a lot happened. And so today, so yesterday was integration day. Major integration day. And then today, so I want to talk about some lessons. Lessons can feel like, you need to learn this. It's like some ahas and some like, oh yes, and some reminders and some lessons as well, right? Yeah. So I have my little list here. One thing as you're moving and shifting through, be open to the yes, while you also still know your boundaries and respect your own boundaries, yeah? But know your boundaries, that's the key. So be open to the yes and the flow of the yes. So this impromptu hosting of this wonderful sound healing and sacred grid activation night just popped up. It was a couple weeks ago, and then all of a sudden it was like, hey, let's plan this thing. And it's like, okay, open to that yes. It's like, okay, do I have the capacity? It's always asking, do I have the capacity and the capability for what's coming, or for what this is, right? So capacity is time, energy, possibly money, right? All of those things. Capability is, do I have the space? Do I have the tools for this? Or do I have some places I can access these tools, right? And that was the same with this like questioning of, hey, can we do a Reiki? Open to the yes. It's easy to just be like, oh yeah, I can't do that. Yep, no. Right? versus like, let me, our word on the house is contemplate. Let me contemplate that. Yeah? Let me think about that. Let me ponder. Let me see if that's the capacity and the capability at this time to do that. And if you don't, that's okay. Or if you're like, I do for this, and this part, but this and this part, I'm not quite sure. I need to rejig. Or no, I can't. We need to rejig this part. Can we make it happen? Or maybe it's just all I can't right now. I'm not even a can't, but no thanks. Like, no thanks, I'm good. I just like, this is not something that it works out right now for me, right? So being open to the yes while understanding your boundaries. And that applies to all areas of your life. All areas while you're on your journey, while you're doing the work, anything, right? But really, it's easy to be like, nope, I can't. Or nope, I don't want to. Or nope, I'm afraid to. Or nope, what if? So if there's a no, what is behind the no? Everything's not going to be a yes. But it's easy to, like, the nope, I woke up to something this morning and straight up I was like, nope. Well, but why? Oh, comparison, fear, the what if. Okay, now let's look at that. Is it really a no? Or is the no easier because you don't have to look at the uncomfortable things? Yeah. When we access those uncomfortable things, brave space has uncomfortable things in it. It takes that stepping our toe over the edge and being like, feels kind of cold in that water, but I know it's going to feel so good. Or maybe I don't even know if it's going to feel good. But part of me is like, yes, this is the thing to do. But that mind part is like, but I'm scared. Yeah, I'll go to the shakai. Step in. Yeah. Okay. Number 2. They're not really in any particular order. Save room for integration time. Integration time. We can see this even in 3D realm when we're like, I did a project, and then you're like, sweet. And you're like, I completed it, and then you're like, next. Where was the celebration time? Integration time is celebration time, is integration time. It allows the codes, it allows the shift, it allows your cells to be like, oh yeah, that's what this feels like. And it allows regeneration, right? So 3 super powerful days with mass shifts within the galactic frequencies. So yesterday, let's just say there was a lot of time sleeping, eating some nourishing food, and some just like, no thanks, I'm good. Yes, please, this feels great, right? Of watching some animal shows, really having some joyous moments, but of just being, just being like, do I really want to do this right now? No. Do I have to do this right now? It's the other part, integration time. Well, I should. No, this is integration time. Yeah, integration time looks like possibly journaling, looks like possibly sleeping, eating, resting, nature time, good food. It doesn't have to be a lot more doing. But it's key to have this integration time. Or else what are you doing? I keep going back to peeling off the Band-Aid because Pluto's like, it's like, peel off the Band-Aid. No, Pluto's like, right? So even if you pull that off, okay, now you need to integrate the time. So the integration time allows it to be a little more like, I had this huge rip tear off. Now I'm just going to be like, okay, I'm going to take time to process what happened, right? Allow my body again to integrate what happened, to settle in any moments. So like yesterday was integration time. Really interesting watching your sleep patterns. I had a really hard time sleeping. Sleeping is a big thing, right? We have lots of messaging that comes through. We have lots of activations that come through, but we need that regeneration space. Hence, when your body's like, I need to sleep more, sleep more. Yeah, last night, second night, hardly any deep sleep, lots of pain, lots of tension in my body as it's torquing, it's having these crazy twists. So today I was like, hey, Dar, so grateful to have a healer in the house, in-house healer. And I was like, I need this, please. Can you please do some zodiac forks and some Om forks? You can see them behind me. For me, that's my left on the wall there. And more stuff came out. More layers of the stuff came out, right? So that's another part. So we talked about leaving room for the integration. It's easy to be like, next, 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 next. No, if you know there's an intense time coming up, or you're going to a session, or right, 3 days, it's like, okay, that was 3 days. I'm going to have a full day. Or I went to this like healing last night, this group heal, or this gathering, or this big event. I'm going to give myself part of the next day to integrate. Even if you have to like work, be like, okay, that night, I'm dedicating 3, 4, or 5 hours, and book it off. Right? No negotiation there. It just is. It's non-negotiable. So talking about the reprocessing. So last night, more processing. And then this morning, Derek, I need some assistance, right? Tools. So this goes into 2 parts. Toolkit, but also processing. So you don't stop. That's the thing, is you're like, oh, look, I process this stuff, or I'm processing this stuff. Oh, there's another layer, another heavy layer, or another light layer, or just a layer, like more stuff's coming out. Oh, but I don't want to, and I'm just going to hold, let it. Access your toolkit and keep processing the different layers as they come up, because they're not going to come up linear. Highly unlikely. I mean, maybe they will. Highly unlikely. Usually like, oh, this is next. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, that actually happened. Who knew? The onion croissant. You're like, peel off that layer, and then you're like, peel off, whoa, that's a thicker layer, but I thought it was going to be another thin layer. I thought I was going to get a piece of that onion or whatever, right? Like, peel, 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 peel. So processing as it comes up. And that leads into the toolkit part. During like the remembering of like, oh yeah, I have that in my toolkit. I need to access that, because it's easy to be like, I don't know what to do and everything sucks, so it's really hard. I'm just going to lay on the couch and do nothing, which sometimes is what you need. But if it ends up being day, you're like, no, I need to access my toolkit. So an example of tools that we access here, apitutoshiko herbs, matito skull cap for my nervous system, delicious, cools down because you get a lot of heat when you're running a lot of current. So it brings it back in. Rose, all for the heart, cooling as well for the nervous system. Avena. So oat straw has been a lovely friend the last few days. Also super nourishing for the nervous system, because nervous system, running the current, doing the spiritual work, connecting into the divine, being a crystalline pathway, that nervous system, heart, stomach, central nervous system. Yeah? So we have, for this house, we have herbs. So a good one most people can do, Epsom salt bath, right? The salt helps draw up the metabolites, the extra metabolites, calms the nervous system. Draws out any of that negative, like the stuff, the sludge, helps cleanse that, relaxes the body. Music is vibration, right? Access your musical tools. What songs help you process the thing? I'm a fan of mantras. The new one is White Sun, is one of my new ones. I also love Jay Chand, Jay Jagdesh. Oh my goodness, Nathan Carr, right? There's so many out there now that you can locate. So I talked about herbs, food, nourishing food. So this leads into another one. To go into next. But food, clean. If you can go organic, great. And by clean, I mean the least processed that you can get, the most whole foods you can get, the most fresh you can get, to really, really nourish the body. And that can be anything. So we're flexitarians in this house. We eat mostly vegetarian, vegan, but there's times I'm like, I need my bone broth. And it's that intuitive eating of like, this is what I need right now. Yeah. Or like I need that density of something. So yesterday was all about really stacked up fresh sandwiches, gluten-free bread for me at least. Right? But like fresh veggies, and oh, so good. So good. So nourishing the body with that clean, pure water. If you can get filtered water as opposed to city water, it's going to be even better. And so just the cleanest stuff that you can access at that time. Yeah. to keep it going. Because the denser stuff, so like the fast foods and stuff like that. When I say fast foods, there are fast foods that are higher vibrational now. We're talking like McDonald's and like all those kinds of typical fast foods. But they're just gonna stuff and put the Band-Aid back on, which you're then gonna have to process and peel back off, right? So nourishment that way. So then that's the next one. Atitudes of remembrance. Nourishment, nourishing the body, which we just went into, right? Nourishing the body with the cleanest, freshest stuff that you can makes a huge, huge difference. And then, so back to the tools. What healers, what supports do you have within your vortex? Do you have a vibrational healer? Did all of a sudden your back? So I twitch a lot with my processing. So I have a lovely chiropractor, Dr. Payne, so good. I know this is new, it's so great. And so those kinds of things, because we need to take care of the 3D, which also goes back to the nourishment part with food and water. So we have to take care of the 3D as we're doing the spirit work. We need the vessel. They're never going to vibrate at the same, not physically possible, right? 3D is 3D. It has a denser quality to it by its nature. But they can vibrate in resonant harmony, right? As opposed to like discordance and you're like, everything feels off. My body's acting up, not acting up, but my body is showing things. Everything just feels, So if we get them in vibrational resonance and harmony, it's going to feel a lot better. And there's going to be some more pockets of ease. It's going to be less of a struggle. It's still going to be work, but it's going to be less intense. Okay? Which leads into the discomfort. But keep going even if it's uncomfortable and hard. Keep going. Take the break and the pause. Take those days for integration, the days of ease, the days of like, okay, I'm just going to breathe. It's like, it's working out. You're working out your spiritual everything. You're working out every aspect of your cellular core. If you went to the gym 7 days a week and just went, and you didn't give your body time to adjust, to integrate, to heal physically, you're doing these things and stretching muscles and all this other stuff, right? You can do some damage. You can hurt yourself. And it's not it's not as, I don't want to say fun or useful or I can't even think of the word. Give yourself time to integrate. So have the pause. But then after the pause, because it can be easy, we get into the pause and we're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna stay in this cocoon. This is good. I don't have to do any more work. This is amazing. And you're just like cocooned. Bring yourself out of that cocoon. Know you're gonna go back there to reintegrate your integration space, but allow yourself to come out, to go back to doing the work, to not getting stuck in that one pocket. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there you have it. Those are some of the lessons from this weekend, the rememberings, the moments as we head through this time, and through and continuing the journey of coming back to our heart, or back to ourself, or back to our original source code, state, intention, why we came, before it got all overlaid with all the things. Back to that original code and that remembering of, that's why I'm here. I'm proud of you for doing the work. Keep going. You've got this. If you need anything, you know where to find me. So much love and stardust here. Uber amounts. Yeah? Okay. I'll see you soon.